Check, check. Check.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Very good. I'm getting levels adjusted.
Sure, no problem.
So thanks for agreeing to the interview.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you taking interest in what we do.
I know you've submitted, or someone has submitted on your behalf, several times to the magazine, and it's always really enjoyable for me to listen to. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks very much. You guys have been really generous in reviewing stuff from different projects. So, yeah, we appreciate that.
Cool. So let's start. Oh, by the way, this is being recorded because I'm going to transcribe it later.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, cool. So let's start easy. What's your name and where are you located?
My name's Ron Coulter, and I live in Casper, Wyoming.
Oh, all right, cool. And how long have you been there?
I moved here in 2014, August 2014.
And what brought you there?
I was a teaching position. I'd been teaching percussion at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, and then was offered this position here at Casper College. It was a tenure track gig, also teaching percussion.
Yeah, you're the very talented percussionist that usually features on the things that you send in.
Oh, thanks. Yep. Play drums, percussion,
yeah,
electronic.
How would you describe your music?
I mean, as far as like categorization, it's free improvisation. Some people might call it noise. Some might call it free jazz, or just improvised music or creative music.
Yeah.
All those terms sort of get loosely applied to, similar types of music.
For sure.
But in essence, we just get together and we improvise with no plan, no talking, none of that. We're just playing in the moment.
Very cool. And who is we?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, like we said, I play drums and percussion. My friend Matt Smiley is the bassist in the group. He lives in Denver, Colorado. And the guitarist in the group is Alex Nauman. He lives up in Billings, Montana.
So how often do you get together to do these sessions?
Pretty infrequently, actually. The first time was I should say I've known Matt for many years. The first time that we got together as a trio was in December of 2020. But I've known Matt for probably 2017. We've worked together on a lot of projects, playing live, recording. And Matt was a longtime friend of Alex's. They met in school down at UNC Greeley. So.
Wait, where?
UNC, University of Northern Colorado. Greeley, Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm from North Carolina, so UNC.
Oh, yeah.
has a different meaning for me.
Yeah, sure.
Is that
so?
Where
Yeah,
you...
they played together on different things for many, many years, and they had recorded a project that they used vinyl on, and it just happened that Casper's about dead in the middle between Billings and Denver, so they both met here to trade off some, cartons of vinyl records, and Matt was like, "Hey, we should get together. We should play, record." So that's what we did.
How long have you been playing percussion?
I started when I was a kid. Professionally, like the first time I ever got paid for a gig would have been like 1997. So 20, 26 years.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I guess 45 now. Yeah, just turned 45.
Hmm. And what got you into free improvisation?
That's a good question. Oh, no, okay. Well, I mean, you kind of always do it as a percussionist. Percussionists are like tinkerers, and they just kind of improvise naturally because we deal with so many different instruments. I think, but okay, so I was on tour with a band in 2004, and we had like a day, two or 3 days off there in Nashville, Tennessee, and that was back in the day, where there was like local like entertainment papers, just the freebie ones you could grab, and they'd have like all the gigs going on that week or month.
Right.
And there was a show called, it was just called Noise Show. And it was at some place called Sweetwater. And it listed these weird names. So I went to that. I was like, that sounds cool. And yeah, it was a show, it was total free improvisation. Dude named Howard Stelzer that just played cassette decks, like not even the tapes, just the decks, And guy named Mr. Nate Natural played like a sculpture he made out of like driftwood. It was amplified, and a duo called Nordic Miracle that had like a guitar laying on a table, and then it was just surrounded by dozens of effects pedals. So that was totally life changing. That was the first time I'd seen that music presented like in and of itself as like a legit thing. Like you can improvise actual music and it can be, totally whole in and of itself.
And previous to that, what sort of stuff were you playing?
Well, drum set based musics, mostly jazz. Like that, I was touring with a big band at that point. I went to school and learned orchestral percussion, jazz drum set, and then a lot of just contemporary percussion music, both solo percussion and chamber percussion music.
So you're formally trained?
Yeah, I got a bachelor's degree and master's degree from Youngstown State University.
Is that Ohio?
Yeah, in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio.
Is that where you're from?
Matt Smiley. No, about 30 minutes east of there, and I grew up in Hermitage, Pennsylvania, right off I-80, if you've ever driven that. Yeah, and our bassist, Matt Smiley, just finished his doctorate at University of Colorado Boulder, May 2022. And yeah, Alex went to school in Greeley. I think he's got a bachelor's in jazz studies from there.
How did you meet one another?
I first met Matt at a conference of improvised and art music, contemporary art music, and electronic music in Park City, run by these two really great people, Devin Maxwell and Katie Porter. It's called the VU Symposium, VU, after Vladimir Usichevsky. And I went there and played some of my music and just had a great time, and met Matt, who was also presenting there, playing a Fluxus bass piece with a friend of his named Ryan Seward. So that just kicked off a relationship with both of those guys. I've worked with them both independently. And then the connection with Alex was with Matt. Matt had gone to school with him, and they gigged a lot and recorded together.
And why was it named after Vladimir? I forgot the last name. I'm sorry.
Oh, Usichevsky. Yeah, he was a composer that was actually at I think it was University of Salt Lake, Utah University in Salt Lake. I don't know, whatever the major university is there. He taught there for many, many years.
Oh, wow.
And Park City's like maybe a half hour outside of Salt Lake.
Oh, so he was the one putting it on? Or was it done
no.
in his honor?
Yeah, it was named in his honor.
I see. So, what made you want to start playing music when you were young?
I don't know. My parents listened to like country music. They always had radio on. I just kind of liked hearing that music, and I remember seeing a marching band when I was maybe in first grade or something, and saw the drummers, the drum line, and thought that was really cool. And then at one point, my mom was like, she decided that my brother and I were both going to take music lessons. And so he wanted to play, I think, the saxophone or something, and so I just said saxophone. But I don't know, they didn't. I guess I was too small. They said my hands were too small, so they said, "What else do you want to play?" I looked around. I remember seeing a pair of bongo drums, and I said, "I want to play those."
Hell yeah!
So they gave me a pair of sticks and a rubber disc for a practice bed, and that was that.
Nice. And where did you grow up?
In Hermitage, Pennsylvania. It's right, it's right in the middle of the Rust Belt, about an hour north of Pittsburgh, hour southeast of Cleveland.
I see.
Grew up on a dairy farm.
Interesting. And what do you do? Like, do you teach now? Like, what do you...
I did. Yeah, I got laid off in, spring of 2021. Kind of a culmination of COVID and the decline in the energy industry here in the state. So the college had a bunch of layoffs, and one of them was me. So, yeah, I had started teaching full-time in 2005, Southern Illinois University. Was there for 10 years, came out here, and was teaching at Casper College for 7 years.
What do you do now?
So now I make money playing music.
Hell yeah.
Day trading stocks, and I buy and sell instruments online.
Okay. Do you have a place that you play locally that you frequent?
Yeah, I got a monthly jazz gig I've done in town with a trio for probably 8-9 years now.
Not the RACCA Trio.
No. This is just straight ahead standards, kind of wallpaper music. A place called Backwards Distillery, and I play occasionally with some other groups that are like doing cover music, like mixes of rock, blues, Americana. One group does trad jazz, like New Orleans style. I play with I'm principal percussion with the Wyoming Symphony here in town. We're actually playing this weekend.
Nice.
And then I go down. I've got some people in Salt Lake that I play with in terms of the free music, and some stuff with the Denver-based guys. The RACCA Trio has been hard to get something going because of the distance between us. It's like we've played a couple times here in Casper because it's sort of central, but it's hard to get Matt to come up to Billings and me to go up to Billings, or vice versa, to get Alex down and myself down to Denver and have that make sense financially.
What's it like living in Wyoming? I'm actually considering going to UW at some point.
No, like to school, or just passing through, like to visit?
To school.
Oh, okay, cool. What's it like? Well, the weirdest thing is the lack of trees. Being from Pennsylvania, it's just like some really weird landscapes out here. And some of it just, it's like prairie, but then there's like really odd, like just desolate, like they're not. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like these hills and dirt and rock, and then there's mountains off in the distance. Really kind of bizarre stuff. And the other thing is, this Wyoming is the lowest or the least populous state. We have the lowest population, which I was surprised here. There's actually another point of trivia is that there's one zip code, or not zip code, area code for the whole state. So everybody's phone has 307 area code. So like distances between things is huge. You could drive out here in some parts of the state and not see a gas station for maybe 3 hours.
Wow.
So like getting to places is always involves a drive. Like the nearest real, like I would call civilization from here would be probably Fort Collins, Colorado, and that's a 3 hour and 15-minute drive. Downtown Denver is a solid 4 hours if you don't hit traffic. So like, yeah, that distance, that driving culture, that's odd.
And you came out originally to teach?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you ever work on like independent solo, like recording work? Like
yeah, I've got 2 solo records out that are all my own compositions for percussion and or electronics. Those are all pieces, that can be played live. And I've got a couple of recordings out that are all just electronic compositions.
Nice. Are those? Do you have streaming links for those?
Yeah, they're on that creatingsound.bandcamp.com.
Cool.
That's where majority of my, my personal projects are. I think we've got about 45, 46 releases on there now.
Wow. Nice. So
I've been, I'll just
no, you're good.
mention one thing. Yeah, since my teaching job disappeared, I got tons of time on my hands. So my main project has been documentation of things. I've been a composer for over a decade, got hundreds of compositions, trying to like get all that stuff recorded and then put out on, CD or digital release. So that's been a focus. I've released an album a month through that label for the last, it's going to be 2 years in December, and then just have no plans of stopping. Going to try and keep that monthly release happening for at least another year and a half at least.
Nice. What made you decide to stay in Wyoming?
Really probably the housing market.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of that stuff, but God, it's literal insanity in terms of buying a house. My want is to relocate to St. Louis, Missouri. But I don't want to, have to rent a home, an apartment again, or, whatever, to like start over in that regard. So I'm lucky enough to own a small house here, so it's easy to live cheap, and, moving kind of is not going to be cheap.
True. That's true.
It's tough to even make a lateral move. It's like, I kind of got to lose money to get out of here.
Why St. Louis?
I don't know. I just always liked St. Louis. I've played in all 50 states, been to a couple countries, and I like St. Louis. It's got that gritty kind of vibe, DIY stuff going on, music in basically every genre. It's got a history there of the free music, free improvisation with the Black Arts Group and others, the New Music Circle there. And I used to live, in Carbondale when I was teaching at Southern Illinois University. That was about a 2-hour drive. So I was up in St. Louis quite often to see music, and hang out, play gigs occasionally.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cost of living is generally low there. It's also in that Rust Belt, so it feels like home in that regard.
Yeah.
Sort of edgy and dangerous, and I like the Midwest vibe too.
So, what artist or artists really impacted you when you were younger? Like the first time you heard them.
I mean,
you wanted to. play music?
Oh, well, like hearing the Buddy Rich big band, that was amazing. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. I had cassettes of stuff like Nirvana. Really liked that band. um, and then when I got into school and started learning about all this percussion music, like music that's just percussion, nothing else. People like John Cage and the Amadinda Percussion Group.
Do you
Square
ever
Pusher, Aphex Twin, like that intelligent techno stuff. In terms of like the free improvisers, definitely the AMM. I really liked a lot of the European players. So AMM, John Butcher, Laquan Inn, Americans that were going over there back and forth, like Gino Robert, Michael Zarang, and then that whole Chicago scene, with the AACM, the Art Ensemble, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And do you play any tuned instruments?
Yeah, so like solo, four-mallet marimba, all the orchestral instruments, glockenspiel, vibraphone, marimba, xylophone, timpani, chimes. I've got like 4 octaves of tuned cowbells called Almglocken. Got several octaves of tuned Thai gongs. Yeah,
Nice.
Whatever. If you can hit it, I play it. Or bow it, or scrape it, or shake it, or whatever.
Right. Well, I just have a couple more questions.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
Do you have anything you would like to promote?
I guess, my Creating Sound Bandcamp page. That's where people can check out everything that I do that's kind of under my name. They can also check out Right Brain Records in Seattle. There's been 2 RACCA Trio releases on that label.
Right.
Some with my group Cephaloco. Recent one with Sam Newsom, the saxophonist, New York saxophonist. And actually, RACCA Trio, we're going to be recording in November 12th, so 2 weeks, sort of. About 2 weeks. We were supposed to record here on the 6th. Was it this? No, sorry, 26th. But it got snowed out, of course, here in Wyoming. So we're going to be going into the studio to record a new album for Right Brain Records.
Nice. And then my last question would be, is there anything you were hoping to talk about that I didn't cover?
No, I don't think so. If you got what you needed, it's all good.
Yeah, this will be in... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to, again, if you are interested in like the diversity of things that I'm doing, that Bandcamp page would probably be the best. Each of the releases usually has, biographical information about who's involved, maybe some minor commentary on the music.
Yeah.
And not all that, you can't stream all the tracks on all the albums, but if there's stuff you want access to, just let me know. I'd be happy to send you like one sheets that'll give you Google Drive access to all the info on all those albums.
Cool. So this is going to be in our December 1st edition.
Awesome.
We will have you could look at it for free online, and I'd also be happy to send you a copy for free if you'd like.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
We have each other's email, so I guess if you wouldn't mind emailing me or just texting me the spelling of the website that you'd go to for all your stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you have any photos of you playing the drums, if you could email me a few of those, that would be good. I could put them in the article.
Okay. Of just me, or do you want like the RACCA Trio?
Oh, the RACCA Trio, but also just you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll see what we got.
All right.
And yeah, sorry, I'm just typing a note here.
Cool.
And yeah, I will send you that stuff ASAP.
All right, man. Well, I do appreciate you agreeing to do this, and I hope you have a good night.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun talking to you, and appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Goodbye.
All right, you take care.